If you're someone who pays attention to what you eat, you've probably found yourself standing in the grocery store aisle, scanning the shelves, and noticing those bold, eye-catching labels that shout fat-free and sugar-free. These claims are everywhere, on snacks, drinks, cereals, yogurts, and even on foods you wouldn't expect. It's almost impossible to walk through a supermarket without seeing at least a dozen products promising to be free of fat or sugar. But have you ever stopped to wonder what these labels really mean? Are these foods actually healthier, or is there more to the story than meets the eye? Let's take a closer look. When you see fat-free or sugar-free on a package, it's easy to assume that the food inside is automatically a better choice. After all, we've been told for years that fat and sugar are the enemies of a healthy diet. But is that really the case? What's actually hiding inside those brightly labeled packages? The truth might surprise you. Let's crack the code together. Fat-free foods love to brag about their lack of fat, plastering it all over the packaging as if it's a badge of honor. But here's the catch. When food manufacturers remove fat from a product, they're also taking away a lot of the flavor and texture that makes food enjoyable. So what do they do to make up for it? More often than not, they add something else to compensate. That something else is usually sugar, or sometimes a cocktail of artificial flavors, thickeners, and chemicals. The goal is to trick your taste buds into thinking you're eating something rich and satisfying, even though the fat is gone. For example, a fat-free yogurt might have double or even triple the amount of sugar compared to its regular counterpart. And those fat-free salad dressings? They're often loaded with corn syrup, modified starches, and preservatives to mimic the creamy texture you expect. So while you might be avoiding fat, you could be getting a hefty dose of sugar or artificial additives instead. Think about that healthy snack you just picked up. Maybe it's a granola bar, or a pack of cookies with a big fat-free or sugar-free label on the front. You might feel good about your choice, but here's the reality. These foods can actually spike your blood sugar, leaving you feeling tired, cranky, or even hungrier than before. That's because when you strip away fat, you lose the slow-digesting nutrients that help keep you full and satisfied. Instead, you're left with a product that digests quickly, causing your blood sugar to rise and fall in a flash, and that can lead to cravings, overeating, and a cycle that's hard to break. Now, let's talk about sugar-free foods. When manufacturers remove sugar, they often replace it with artificial sweeteners like aspartame, sucralose, or saccharin. These sweeteners can taste a little strange. Some people describe them as having a metallic or bitter aftertaste. But the bigger issue is how they affect your body. For some people, artificial sweeteners can cause digestive issues like bloating, gas, or even stomach cramps. And while they don't contain calories, there's ongoing debate about whether they're truly harmless in the long run. Some studies suggest that artificial sweeteners might even trick your brain into craving more sweets, making it harder to cut back on sugar overall. Here's another important point. Just because a food is free of something doesn't automatically make it healthy. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that if a cookie is fat-free or a soda is sugar-free, it's a guilt-free treat. But the reality is, these foods are often highly processed and packed with ingredients that aren't doing your body any favors. A fat-free cookie is still a cookie, a sugar-free candy is still candy. The label might make you feel better about eating it, but it doesn't change what's inside. Let's be honest, a cookie is still a cookie, even if it's got a shiny free label on the front. The marketing might make it seem like a smarter choice, but at the end of the day it's still a treat, not a health food. And if you find yourself eating more of these diet snacks because you think they're better for you, you could end up consuming more calories, sugar, or artificial ingredients than you realize. So, what should you do the next time you spot those magic words on a package? Don't just trust the hype. Flip the package over and take a good look at the ingredient list and nutrition facts. Ask yourself, what's actually in this food? Are there a lot of added sugars, artificial sweeteners, or unpronounceable chemicals? Is it something you'd feel good about eating every day? Remember, the best foods for your body are the ones that are as close to their natural state as possible. Whole fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and minimally processed grains. Don't get fooled by the free frenzy that's taken over the grocery store. Food companies know that these labels sell products, and they're counting on you to believe that fat-free or sugar-free means healthy. But now you know the truth. It's not always that simple. In fact, sometimes these foods are less healthy than the regular versions, thanks to all the extra sugar, chemicals, and processing. Let's break it down even further. When you eat whole foods, like an apple, a handful of almonds, or a bowl of oatmeal, you're getting nutrients, fiber, and energy that your body knows how to use. These foods don't need flashy labels or marketing gimmicks. They're naturally satisfying and nourishing. On the other hand, processed, free foods are often stripped of their natural goodness and pumped full of things your body doesn't need. The more steps a food goes through before it reaches your plate, the more likely it is to contain ingredients that aren't doing you any favors. If you're trying to eat healthier, focus on adding more real whole foods to your diet. That doesn't mean you can never enjoy a treat, but it does mean being mindful of what you're choosing. Instead of reaching for a fat-free cookie, try a piece of dark chocolate or a homemade energy bite made with nuts and dried fruit. Instead of a sugar-free soda, try sparkling water with a splash of lemon or a few fresh berries. These swaps give you flavor and satisfaction without all the extra junk. Making these changes doesn't have to be hard or overwhelming. Start small. Maybe by swapping out one processed snack a day for something fresh and whole. Get your family involved in meal prep and experiment with new recipes that use simple, wholesome ingredients. Over time, you'll find that your taste buds adjust, and you start to crave real food instead of the processed stuff. When you fill your cart with foods that are naturally full of flavor and nutrition, you don't need to worry about what's missing, because you're getting everything your body needs. And you'll probably notice that you feel better, have more energy, and don't get those crazy cravings for sweets or salty snacks as often. So the next time you're tempted by a fat-free or sugar-free label, remember, it's not about what's missing from your food, but about what's actually in it. Stay smart, snack smarter, and choose foods that truly nourish your body. Your health is worth more than any marketing claim or shiny package. Choose real food, and let your body thank you for it.